Aloha and welcome to Spirit Chat Radio. Today I'm going to be doing a podcast talking about colors, energy of colors and energy vibes. That's also it's going to sort of be a hodgepodge of stuff though, because the colors is going to lead into some other stuff like some music and auras and things like that. So we're going to be talking about that today. Before I get started on that podcast, I just want to cover some things that people have been asking and emailing about. As always, if you're interested in getting on my mailing list or anything like that, definitely check out keystospiritworld.com. The link will be below. Also, over there is the 2 quizzes that I've created that took me really a lot of time to create. That's the psychic ability quiz and the empath quiz. So that's an easy way to get on my newsletter. If you take one of those, you just check a box and you get on my newsletter. So if you're interested in seeing what your abilities are, what type abilities that you have, or if you're sensitive or feel like you're psychically sensitive, it's a really, really great quiz over there. And they are pop-ups. So they'll tend to pop up when you're on the website. If you're wondering if you're an empath, that's also a good quiz to take over there. The other thing that I've been working on, which I'm just going to throw out there again, is the Spiritual Guru Box. We have so many cool things going on with that. Oh my gosh, the products we have coming in, and we're already planning Christmas stuff. There is some major cool stuff happening for Christmas. So I'm super excited about that. But we're also going to have a new thing that we're releasing with the Spiritual Guru Box. So stay tuned for that, because that's, I think, a lot of you are really going to be interested in. If you want to find out more on that, go to spiritualgurubox.com and you can check out our stuff over there. Definitely suggest it if you're on a spiritual journey or spiritually awakening, and this is your area of interest, and you like some of the physical stuff that goes with it, and you're interested in rocks and crystals, candles, different things like that, and how to use those to work with your journey, you definitely want to check that out. And like I said, we have a new thing coming out very, very soon. I'll be talking about that in June, and so you'll want to stay tuned for that. The other thing that I'm noticing, if you're in one of my spirit communities, if you're in my spirit community, the Higher Purpose Learning Group, I'm noticing that there's all the way from, very beginner to advanced people in the group. A lot of times the advanced people will go from that group over into my classes. And we're getting tons of people in that group right now. If you don't know how to get into it, you can go to the Keys to the Spirit World, and up in the right-hand corner is a button that says Spirit Community, or you can scroll down and it says Spirit Community. You can click on that. You have to be accepted because we're really careful about spammy posts in there. So just click on it. Lydia or Brian will accept you in, and then you can come in and join in the discussions. We have lots of cool discussions over there. But if you're in the Spirit Community already, that is a great place to post experiences and different things like that. But some of you guys want to advance. There's some people that I can tell by the things that they're posting, they really, really would like to learn more and try to figure out how to develop their abilities better. And I'm not trying to reiterate this, but I feel like it needs to be kind of talked about again, especially if you're in the group, that's why I created the psychic ability class, and that's why I created the mentorship circle class. I created it because some people were just ready to advance more or further, and in order to advance, you can do all the things that you normally do yourself, like I talk about all the time. We have the natural ability to do all these things, but in order to really advance, you do need training. It's just what you need. Just like you would train more if you were interested in learning how to advance in yoga, or how to advance in playing tennis, or take surfing lessons. There are tricks and tips and things that you might not be aware of that can be packed into a class that might take you 2 years to figure out on your own. And some of those you still might not even figure out. So that's what the whole entire purpose of the psychic ability class. You can only go so far usually with those types of things before you get a mentor or training. The mentorship circle, on the other hand, is a lot of people that were already in my psychic ability class. In that class, we just have more advanced topics in that circle. And then also we do master classes. So we had like a pet communicator come in. We've done a tarot master class. We're doing a manifestation master class. So we do a lot of kind of mini master classes or mini classes, I guess I would say. And we do it via Zoom. So it's like being in a virtual classroom. So I do that one a little bit different than we do the psychic ability class. If you're interested in either one of those and you're interested in advancing, you can go to the psychicabilityclass.com or you can go to mentorshipcircle.com and you can find more information on those. I didn't create it just because I had spare time or, to get rich or anything, because truthfully, neither of those would work. So I don't have a lot of spare time, and it's not a just get rich thing. I really truly created those because I seen a need to help people, and the classes have been incredibly successful. And I got really frustrated, and I still do sometimes when I go through even my own spirit community. I go through there sometimes, and some of the people will say some things, and I can tell they haven't had the proper training, and I'll comment to that and say, you really need to get some training in this area, or get a good mentor. And they'll be like, oh, I'm in class, or I have a mentor. And then I'm like, what do you mean you're in class? Or like, what? I don't want to say bad things about any other classes or mentors because I don't know what they're doing, but I can see from the answer that they definitely haven't gotten all the proper info. So I don't know how far they are in with the classes of the mentor or whatever, but it's just really interesting what's not available to people in other classes and what's not available to people through other mentors. I think mentors are nervous for whatever reason that that they don't want competition. That is really common in the industry, in the metaphysical industry. I'm not concerned about that. I'm concerned about you guys, you as a healer, you as a spiritual seeker, really utilizing your skills the best that you possibly can. And if you want to become a professional healer or professional in this industry, I really want you to be to your highest level. I want you to have the most knowledge and be skilled at the highest level that you possibly can to serve your clients in the best possible way. That's the only thing that makes sense to me. Competition, it seems silly because I'm in Hawaii and you guys might be somewhere else in another state, and I'm not going there. Anyone who wants to be a healer is probably seeing people I've never met before and have never heard of me. And so it's best for you to be on your game the highest you possibly can. And that's why I do these podcasts and classes. I just really want everybody to be at their highest vibration and be skilled at the best level that they can. So I offer some information for free. Some of it, is paid because, like you guys, I have to keep the lights on. So there you go, if you're interested in either of those. So anyways, let's get into the colors and energetic vibe course. Now I've been talking about courses so much, I turned the podcast into a course. So let's get into more about colors and energy and how that works. I did I think it started from the psychic ability class. Somebody had mentioned something in the group that prompted me to post something in the spirit community, the Higher Purpose Learning Group, on colors. I started realizing that it's something that I think a lot of sensitives or psychic people kind of overlook, but you don't have to be psychic or sensitive, truthfully. A lot of people are very open to the fact that they are drawn to certain colors, or certain colors make them feel a certain way. And I never kind of really broke it down very much because it's just something I've always known, and I've always kind of it was one of those things where I thought everybody was psychic, and then I found out they weren't. It was kind of one of those things that never really hit me till recently, that colors have a vibration and they speak to you. And I just kind of thought everybody sort of knew this, and then I realized they didn't. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, that would be a great podcast. So colors hold their own energy. They offer their own energetic vibe, colors. Doesn't matter if they're on a product or not on a product. Colors, in the essence of a color holds its own energetic vibe and energy. And that energetic vibe will then go out, and it will balance, shift, or manipulate other energetic vibes. And so that's something that I think that people should be aware of, because it's not necessarily that you didn't like the color you put on today, or you went through your closet and you're like, oh, I'm feeling like wearing red, but I don't have any red, so guess I'm going to wear blue. And then you put blue on and you're feeling like, man, I wished I had my red shirt. You know, it's not, it goes deeper than that. The energetic vibe of a color has the power to balance and shift energy and move it in a way that you can feel. And so that's something that people don't think about when they get a little bit deeper into the benefits and aspects of colors. So for instance, one of the things that I brought up in the spirit community was I notice colors and energetic vibration. The colors and the energy affects you the most in two different areas, and that is in house decor and in clothes you wear. So in anything you're encompassing yourself in that has a color to it, kind of, if you're surrounding yourself with a color, because it can be that way, like with nature and different things, and that brings into a whole different thing we're going to talk about in a minute. But specifically, some of the things that I'm talking about with the colors and the energetic vibe is house decor and clothing. And so things that you're drawn to as far as colors go, because the other thing with colors that I don't think that people realize is colors can actually speak to you. And that might be something that some people are going to go, okay, now you've lost me. Now you've entirely lost me. I was with you till you started saying the color stock. But they actually do. They can speak to you, and if you develop your abilities, you can actually hear colors talking about just balancing vibrations and what needs to be put in certain areas. And if you think about it, it actually makes total sense. The colors go with the main chakra systems. When healers talk about working as they're healing people, they usually see colors that represent different areas and different things. Colors represent emotion. Colors represent all different kinds of things as far as balance and energetic system and healing. Colors go with the auras. It's all in alignment. But then when you talk about colors actually carrying their own vibe and speaking to you, because they carry a voice also, which that's, like I said, way more advanced. I probably won't get into that too much on this podcast. It's quite interesting because you don't really go that deep into it. So why would you want to pay attention to the energetic vibe of a color? Because really comes down to one of the most important things. When it comes to your spiritual being and your physical body, because colors carry an energetic vibration, and because they can literally adjust your vibration and adjust your energetic field by being near it and coming into contact with it, that's why. I mean, it is what it is. Colors have the ability to adjust and balance your own energetic field. So how's that work in layman's terms? If you go to the closet and you're wanting to put on a red shirt for that day or whatever, and here's the interesting kicker thing. I know that psychologically they say colors on a psychological represent certain things like, black represents something, because this actually came up when somebody said they were drawn to black. Black represents something like more of a deeper, darker thing, and then white represents light, and then you got red that's aggression, and blue that's calm. While that can be true in some aspects when you're working with surrounding colors, I mean, I don't like the psychology of the colors part. I like the feel of the colors. So don't try to overwork and kind of explain with your brain why you're drawn into certain colors. Tap into the energetic feel of a color, because colors all can carry positive aspects. They can carry masculine energy, feminine energy. There's all other kinds of things, like black carries a feminine energy, which a lot of people don't know. So there's a lot more to it than just black is dark and depressed and red is aggressive. There's so much more to it. So kind of throw that out if you're going to be working with some of the things I'm going to be talking about today. Kind of like let that go, let that old thought train go, and relearn how to feel the vibe of a color, because there's so many positive aspects to just all colors. Like, there really truly is. Like, if you can feel positivity in all colors, if you reach for it, if you feel for it, if you just kind of feel from that chest area and feel the vibe of a color, there's positive aspects to all colors. There just really is. And so that's what I'd like you to tap into more. But here's the kicker. When you are like going into your closet, everybody's vibe is very different. There's all kinds of stuff going on with your own energetic vibe. So your energetic vibe, think of it like a thumbprint. It's not going to match other people's energetic vibe. I mean, like, in a general overall sense, you definitely will vibe with other people, right? You will have that same vibe going on. But personally, when it comes down to a personal thing, you also have a lot of just like mini underlying vibes. You have a lot of different energy chords that are happening all at one time, which kind of creates your energetic thumbprint, right? So if you go to a closet and you're drawn to a certain color, here's what's cool about colors and colors that you wear. Color, those shirts, those pants, the things that you wear, even undergarments and whatnot, they can help to balance your energetic vibe that you have going on. So if you're feeling stressed, or you're feeling kind of just off, you're feeling sort of a jagged energy, which, by the way, there's a lot of really jagged energy going around, which is a whole different podcast, because that's more of an energy report. But if you're feeling sort of an off, jagged vibe going on or something, just something that, you can put on a color, and that color, and it's going to be different for everybody. So I'm not going to be able to tell you it's a purple, it's a blue, it's a red. Put on this color if you're feeling this way. Put on this color if you're feeling this way. Everybody's different. Remember the energetic thumbprint. So you want to go in there, what color you're drawn to, you want to put that on, because that will begin, it can have an effect to begin to balance out your energetic vibe, which allows the energetic vibe to flow nicer, which creates into the rest of your day. So, sometimes, for instance, I'm constantly, a lot of times, for years and years and years, drawn to red and black. But for whatever reason, lately, I'm very, very drawn to like blues. And I've never been drawn to blues, but I don't really question it, because that's just where I'm drawn right now. And so I kind of just go with that. For whatever reason, that feels like a nice balance and complement to my energetic vibe right now. So I just kind of don't question it. I just go with it. Which is going to come into something else. This is why I mean, a lot of these things are going to intertwine into another area. The other thing that I think most people kind of know, but they sort of push to the back burner, is foods. You're drawn to foods that help balance your system. And that's something that a lot of people don't know. And so they try to go to the doctor and do all these things to get fixed, which, of course, if you're not feeling well, you should go to the doctor. But I find it interesting that most people sort of ignore food cravings in correlation to understanding that if you're having food cravings, you need some type of balance going on with a vitamin or a mineral or something in your system. So it's really important to pay attention to what you're drawn to. For instance, yesterday or the other day, I was getting ready to go to work out and train, and I started not feeling very well. I started feeling like I was coming down with something, sore throat, whatever. And I don't drink orange juice very often because it makes me cough. So, but for whatever reason, I was drawn to it. When I'm really drawn to it, I'm like, okay, I'm not feeling well. Definitely feeling like the orange juice. I went to work out anyway because I intuitively knew that that was going to be helpful, which is probably not helpful for you guys. But if you're feeling like, see, those are the things you want to check instead of going. What I did specifically is instead of going, gosh, I don't feel well, I should reserve my energy, I just went kind of like, should I go or should I not go? It was definitely 100% go. For whatever reason, it was going to help. So I went to work out, came back, and I started craving broccoli and spinach incredibly badly. Well, the funny thing is, from the time I went to work out to the time that I had come back, I had forgotten that I was not feeling well. Just totally spaced it out. So obviously, those things helped, right? Went to get my salad, which had the stuff I'm talking about in it. And when I came back, on the way back, I was like, oh, I need greens because I wasn't feeling well. I'd forgot I wasn't feeling well before I went, but my body was craving those minerals and vitamins to balance. And whenever I get a strong craving like that, I always get whatever I'm craving, especially if it's a natural food. Like, I mean, if you're craving French fries or something, like something fried, or like Doritos all the time, that's a little bit different because you could, or just soda because that's like a sugar craving. But especially if you're craving natural products like something green or something like fruit, that's another thing that makes me crazy because people are always like, oh, stay away from fruit, it has so much sugar in it. Well, it's not sugar like people like M&M's sugar. It's like natural sugar, and your body needs natural sugar. So just pay attention to what you're drawn to. So that's really even more so the underlying message I want to convey with this podcast is we have such natural abilities to balance our own systems, our own energetic system, and even our physical system, hence being drawn to the foods that you're drawn to. And when I was drawn to working out, even though I didn't want to go, I don't ever really want to go, just to be honest, it's full disclosure, but I love the way I feel afterwards, which is what makes me go. But I knew that it was going to help me feeling better. So I feel like people kind of, it's like they have this own inner guidance system that's really helping you learn how to balance everything, but you treat it like a child and you shush it all the time. Shh. Like I don't have broccoli and spinach. Well, I didn't have broccoli and spinach either. I went and got it. I don't have this thing or this color or whatever. I feel like the inner voice is not taken seriously. And I'd like you to experiment with that this week and kind of pay more attention to what colors are you drawn to, what foods are you drawn to, And that actually brings into another thing, which is music. So the reason I want to bring music into it is the same type of thing. Music holds an energetic vibration. It's easier for people to understand that music does because if somebody uses a musical instrument and creates a note, it actually can vibrate on screen, or they can hear the vibration with their ear. You can't really see or hear vibration with a color. And so that makes sense to people. But with the color thing, to come back to that, so if you're drawn to a certain color and then you force yourself to wear a different color, let's say you're drawn to red and you force yourself to wear blue or vice versa, what can happen, to give you kind of an example, is instead of having that nice energetic flow where it helps to balance everything in your body, what happens is it's like if you hit an instrument with an off key, or somebody's singing in a very off tone, they're tone deaf or something, and their key's not right, right? When you hear music that the key is not right and it makes you kind of cringe, that's because the vibration feels very off and it's not a nice vibration. That can be the same feeling that you're bringing into your system if you put on colors that aren't vibing with you. Like it can give you, in fact, if you want to take it one step further, it's so funny, but people would think I'm so weird. You might even think I'm weird, but when I can't do it. If I go to my closet and I feel like I want to wear blue that day, and I'm like, yeah, but I don't have any blue, so I need to wear, maybe I'll wear a white or what, for whatever reason. Maybe I'm thinking the blue isn't appropriate for what I'm doing that day. Like maybe it's more casual and I need something more dressy, whatever. If I put on another color, I've tried it on occasion. Like you guys know, I test my theories, just with my own self. I will end up changing. Because I feel I can just, it feels off to me. I can't do it. I've tried it. It just doesn't work. Forget about it. I know better at this point. I'm not saying I wouldn't test it again in the future, because whoever knows, sometimes you're in a hurry, whatever. But I will end up changing, I promise, before I leave. So I don't even mess with it anymore, because I just can't. I can't. The whole vibe of the color, if it doesn't feel right to me, it messes with me in every which way. It's not like I'm going to go out, slam my finger in the door and lose $10 on the street and whatever. It's not going to have that kind of effect, but I don't like my life to feel that way in any aspect or form, because it makes things too uncomfortable for me. So I like to feel balanced. I like to feel flowy. I just follow that. I would like you guys to do that as well, which kind of ties into one of the other podcasts I did last week, which was how people concentrate so much on like balancing their chakras and everything, when naturally your physical and your spiritual body want to just align. And if we stop getting in the way, it naturally happens. It's the same type of thing with what I'm talking about today. Pay more attention to the colors. Pay more attention to what they feel like. So instead of like fighting about the colors, the whole summary of this podcast is become familiar with the feel of colors. Become familiar with your internal draw towards certain foods. Become familiar with how music makes you feel. Become more familiar with how colors feel. That's really what you want to become more familiar with, that, because the more you become more familiar with that, the more you're going to notice what happens when you go against how certain colors vibe with you. So that's kind of the whole purpose, is to familiarize yourself with colors. As far as house decor goes, that's another really good thing, because so instead of emitting from you and on you, like clothes, you're kind of, that color is emitting onto you. It's emitting, so instead of going out, I mean, I guess I said that kind of weird, but you know what I mean. I mean, you're standing in your living room and the color's coming in towards you, instead of emitting from you and merging with your vibe. It's kind of blanketing you in their vibe, right? So that's another reason that house decor is important. And sometimes it's interesting, because you might have your house a certain color, a certain vibe for however long, and then you might want to change it entirely to the opposite. So like if you have like darker carpet, you might want to go entirely light after a while, and that's because that vibe no longer matches you, and for whatever reason you're ready to move to a different balance, a different color, a different energy. And that's really cool. And for those of you who have hodgepodge of colors, which is also okay, you might find, if you're familiarizing yourself with your house decor vibe and how that feels to you, it's kind of similar like feng shui, only simpler if you ask me, because feng shui is crazy confusing. You might have a certain, like your bed area might have a certain color and vibe going on. your living room area, your table area, maybe not your entire kitchen, but maybe just what's right near your kitchen table. So there may even be pockets of color throughout your house. And auras, that's something that before we go, I wanted to just give you a little bit of a tip on, because I was talking to somebody about this today, and I know I've had a lot of questions about it, but since we were talking about colors, I thought it would be a good time to add in auras. I constantly am being asked, like, how do you see auras and blah, 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 blah. How you see them and what does this aura color mean and that aura color mean. I would say one of the things that I'm just going to give you an interesting little fun thing to practice besides paying more attention how colors feel to you by starting with the colors that you wear and then the colors you surround yourself with, and allow the colors to help balance your vibe and whatever you're drawn to. That's your first lesson, so as not to forget. If you want to practice auras, looking at your hand against a white background is a really easy way to start practicing auras. Not everybody will see them, but most people will see. If you stare at your hand, and you got to have it probably about a foot or foot and a half away from your face. If you hold it against white background, or have it up against white background, you will see a clear outline. And most everybody can begin to see with a clear outline. And so you want to concentrate on that outline for a while, and you just want to observe the outline and see how far does that clear outline go. And is it a hard line? Is it a thick line? Is it, just observe it and pay attention and study it. And as you learn to see an outline around like your hand, and you learn to see the clear energy that goes around it, the clear aura, eventually you can start to see colors. Eventually you can see different hues. Plants are also really good to practice on. Is looking at the outline of a plant leaf, live plants. I guess I've never done it on not live ones, but I feel like that wouldn't work as good. So live plants, if you look at the outline of the plant leaves, you will see the clear aura. And you do that for a little while so that you understand with auras too. Once you stare at anything, that's kind of near your face, a foot away, a foot and a half away, your eyes kind of feel like they begin to cross a little bit. And that is normal when you're starting to train yourself to see auras. As they begin to cross and sort of relax and you're staring at your hand or whatever, just allow that to happen, because that allows you to many times start to tune into a color. Don't get frustrated. Practice on the clear aspect. If you want to start learning that, practice on that first. And just do that for a while and become familiar with the clear aura, the energetic aura that's clear around people or plants before you get into the color stuff. So that's just a fun little thing to do. But anyways, I hope that you found this podcast helpful. I apparently am on a mission to get everybody sort of naturally balancing themselves with things I think that they're overlooking. These are things, like I said, that I use in my own life all the time. It's interesting when somebody brings something up to me and I'm like, oh yeah, like I do this all the time, but I've never thought about telling people about it or familiarizing themselves with it. So anyways, hoping to bring more balance into your life, but I'm hoping to bring more awareness into your life with colors and the energetic vibe there, because I think that you'll find it's very powerful. Don't forget, if you want to get on my email list, to stop over at keys2thespiritworld.com. That's where you can take the empath quiz, the psychic ability quiz. Also, the spiritual guru box have some really cool stuff going on. Only not very much time left to get into the June box, by the way. If you want to get into the June shipment, you definitely want to do that soon, because that's going to be cutting off soon. And then we're going to go into July. You won't be able to get into July, but watch for announcements on that. And if you're in the spirit community, or if you're not and you're ready to advance and move forward, that's why I have the psychicabilityclass.com and the mentorshipcircle.com. So definitely check that out. Okay, so hopefully you're having a wonderful day, and until next time, aloha.
Black Friday is coming, and for the adults in your life who love the coolest toys, well, there's something for them this year too. Bartesian is the premier craft cocktail maker that automatically makes more than 60 seasonal and classic cocktails, each in under 30 seconds at the push of a button. And right now, Bartesian is having a huge site-wide sale. You can get $100 off any cocktail maker or cocktail maker bundle when you spend $400 or more. So, if the cocktail lover in your life has been good this year, or the right kind of bad, get them Bartesian. At the push of a button, make bar-quality cosmopolitans, martinis, Manhattans, and more. All in just 30 seconds. All for $100 off. Amazing toys aren't just for kids. Get $100 off a cocktail maker when you spend $400 through Cyber Monday. Visit bartesian.com/cocktail. That's BARTESIAN.com/cocktail.
Top reasons your career wants you to move to Ohio. So many amazing growth opportunities, high-paying jobs in technology, advanced manufacturing, engineering, life sciences, and more. You'll soar to new heights, just like the Wright brothers, John Glenn, even Neil Armstrong. Their careers all took off in Ohio, and yours can too. A job that can take you further, and a place you can't wait to come home to. Have it all in the heart of it all. Launch your search at callohiohome.com.